Today on CCX News, Metro Transit officials say they've seen a significant drop in reported crimes on light rail and buses. Across the transit system, crime is down more than 17% compared to last year. Police Chief Ernest Morales III says working with outside security helped reduce crime. He also says that work with the Brooklyn Center Police Department has crime trending downward at the city's transit center.
Paying attention with our partners in Brooklyn Center PD, as well as our presence as well. So multi-layered response to the issues that are taking place in the area.
Ridership on transit lines dropped significantly during the pandemic. Now officials say it grew about 9% over the last year. After recent produce thefts, a police camera is now on the site of Robbinsdale's West Broadway Community Garden. The city of Robbinsdale shared a post last week asking people not to take produce from the community garden. This comes after an uptick in produce thefts, as most of the plots on site are rented by community members. It costs $25 to rent a plot. Robbinsdale staff say community members without a plot are free to take them from any plot that's marked blue. The problem comes when people take from any other plot.
The consequences will eventually be that we take the community garden aspect of it away, right? We rent out the final plot and then everything is just a rented plot. It was where we might have to take it if, it's not respected and the rules aren't followed.
Basic says produce was also taken to the Lake Drive and Chowan Avenue garden site. A Brooklyn Park man is being charged with killing a man in Minneapolis that he thought was a rival gang member. 28-year-old Kevin Harris was charged with murder for the April shooting. 19-year-old Muhammad Ade was shot in the neck during the incident and died. Harris allegedly fired a handgun modified with an auto sear. He was arrested in Chicago, then booked in the Hennepin County Jail. A New Hope trade school is helping students get a head start on joining the workforce.
There's such a high demand for welders right now that usually if our students are wanting to go to work after training, they can find some jobs, and we do help with job placement.
The founder of Linus Welding Training says trade schools can offer a quick route to a well-paying job. The course at Linus lasts about 4 months. The school hosted a tour this week with the New Hope Crystal Business Networking Group. It gives business owners a chance to make new connections.
We want to get to know the other businesses in the community, so down the road we can hopefully work together.
Starting pay range for welders in manufacturing can be more than $20 an hour. Starting pay for construction welders is more than $30 an hour. The New Hope Corn Feed is underway this Wednesday, and they've got an amazing deal in store. All-you-can-eat corn is available to the public starting at 4:30 today, Wednesday. It's being held at the unique thrift store parking lot on 45th and Winnetka. It'll cost adults $9 and kids $6. If unlimited corn isn't quite your speed, there are also burgers, brats, and hot dogs available for sale. It all wraps up at 8 o'clock in the evening. Mark your calendars. The self-proclaimed restaurant capital of Minnesota will have a special week of discounts and entertainment. It's Maple Grove's first ever restaurant week.
There's events every day, like Monday is music day, Tuesday is kids day, Thursday is lady nights out.
Nearly 30 Maple Grove restaurants are participating in Restaurant Week, which kicks off on Monday, August 12th and runs through Sunday, August 18th. Maple Grove's marketing organization, Experience Maple Grove, organized the event to showcase all the food and drink options the city has to offer. And if you eat at 4 participating restaurants, you could win a big prize.
And make sure to get your passports, because this is how you will win the ultimate shopping, dining, playing, and staying package, which is, a round of golf at Rush Creek, a shopping spree, some dining, and a hotel stay at the Holiday Inn. The diner passports are available at each participating restaurant. That list and information about the Restaurant Week specials will be posted at ccxmedia.org. 3 years ago, an Osseo couple opened a coffee shop called the Annabelle House. Now, as Emily Haugen explains, one of the owners wants to give back to a part of the community that's given so much to them.
There's no such thing as a slow summer day at the Annabelle House.
So when I first started this business, I was like, it's going to be like a cute little coffee shop. We're going to have like 8 customers a day and it's going to be great. and it's definitely blown up beyond that.
The neighborhood coffee shop made its mark in downtown Osseo back in 2021. Ashley Cook said she created it to make up for something the town was missing.
It's very humbling to see people show up for us and the need that we clearly had with how many people come in a day. So we really built this space for the community.
And it's no surprise, teachers are a big part of Cook's clientele. One of the shop's owners is one.
We do have a lot of regulars who are teachers, so it was fun to be able to have this opportunity to give back to them too.
She wants to help those teachers clear the lists for their classrooms. Upon the request, Cook is posting a Minnesota teacher's Amazon wish list every day to the Annabelle House Facebook. Anyone can buy an item to help the teacher out.
The response was overwhelming in a great way, so now we have a lot of lists.
Once she's done posting a few weeks' worth, she says she'll share each list again in a single post. And 2 lucky teachers will get $250 for their classroom and a little something for themselves.
We know that teachers need caffeine to keep them going, so it'll be 2 gift cards with that one.
For her, it all comes down to giving back.
We've been very fortunate to have some really amazing teachers who have really impacted our kids' lives. And so being able to do something so small for them is rewarding for me.
In Osseo, Emily Haugen, CCX News.
You can nominate someone or help clear a teacher's list at Annabelle House's Facebook or Instagram.
The fall high school sports season will kick off in less than a week with day 1 of practices on Monday. No fall sports teams can practice this week, but as Chaz Moots reports, one local hockey player from Plymouth has been putting in time on the ice this week in a different time zone.
If you're gonna be great in the state of hockey, then you better skate early.
I've been playing hockey since I was like 3 years old.
And
pretty young age.
You better skate often. You don't have to tell that twice to Benild's Tala Hansen.
I've done OS weekends. I do some off-ice stuff like training. I have some individual shooting work. I do lifting 4 days a week. Kind of busy, but it's good to have a balance for sure.
Did you get all that?
Yeah, nonstop.
Tala does find some time to relax in the summer, but it's hard to stay away from shooting the puck when you're as good at hockey as she is.
Started with an off-ice shooting session, almost 3 years ago.
That was made evident early to her small group skills coach, Scott Brokaw.
It's funny, I had a group of guys going out on the ice, a lot of which were playing Division I or higher, and I said she could play.
This week, Tala took her stick and skates to Lake Placid, New York.
Get the puck behind the net!
She and 75 other hockey players across the country were chosen to take part in the Girls National Under-18 Select Player Development Camp.
I was reloading the page the whole day just to see if the rosters came out and that sort of thing. It was special for sure.
It's not a surprise that Tala made the list when she can make plays like this and finish with an assist.
Every single time she's on the ice, she's here to get better. Scan. Oh, it was a good chance to pull. Effort and coachability are 2 of the few things we control, and she does that every day.
In her week out east, Tala is looking forward to getting better at hockey, while still enjoying what she loves most about the sport, the people in hockey.
I'd say some of my favorite things are just the memories that you make and the people you meet along the way. You find great connections with the coaches, trainers, and then players you play alongside with, so I think that's something pretty special.
In New Hope, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
Getting a bite is only step 1 for anglers. Keeping fish, specifically walleyes, on the hook is the topic of this fishing tip with CCX fishing pro Terry Tuma.
I had a question recently about how come my walleyes are coming off halfway up in the water column. There are several reasons. I think one of the main reasons, and we pretty much know this already, is your hook sharp on your jig itself. And also too, if you're using short shank jigs, maybe you want to go to a long shank jig. Also, you can take a pair of pliers and bend out that gap, if you will. If your bait fills that gap, you're not going to get a good hook set. So that's a couple of the pointers that we already know about. And then too, using the correct rod. You have to have a rod that's going to be sensitive, of course, but also too, you want a rod tip that's going to be with the backbone being powerful enough to set that hook. Many times, if I have a bigger walleye on, I will set the hook 2 to 3, sometimes even 4 times to make sure that hook is driven into that mouth of that walleye. The other thing too, what we can do is, you know, what I'll do, especially with live bait, with minnows and so, or leeches, is I'll let that, if I'm missing these fish or they're coming off, I'll drop the rod tip down and then let that fish chew on that bait just for a second longer. That also will allow for a good hook set. And the other two, something I don't think we really pay attention to, any minute slack in that line is going to cause a fish to come off. So that's another factor. The other question I have, well, how about using stinger hook? I try to avoid using stinger hooks because you pick up all that debris on the bottom or in that water column, and then besides that, it's unnecessary hardware. But I think if you apply some of these comments I just made, you're not going to have that issue at all.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.